What's up? It's your boy Big G coming at you again with another one of my adventures or my experiences on being a CO at Rikers Island. Before I go on, make sure you hit that bell, that like button, subscribe, share these videos, let them know your boy is out here so they can come walk with me so they can get the experience that I experienced when I was a CO. So I'm gonna get right to it. So one particular night, I'm working in what they call, I'm on Rikers Island, I'm working with what they call the MO house. Now, the MO house is for inmates that are mentally challenged. Some of them crazy, some of them not. Some of them playing crazy. They playing crazy to beat them charges, and they be doing all kind of stupid, crazy acts to try to convince us or the therapists or the doctors or whoever's in charge of the case that they're crazy. They don't want to go up north to do their bid. They want to go to some kind of mental institution or something like that. So I'm in the MO house. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a double. So I'm going to be there 3 to 11. Then I'm going to be there overnight 11 to 7. So at this particular time, I'm sitting in the day room with a bunch of inmates and we watching the Knick game. Now, if anybody know Big G, I'm a diehard Knick fan. Right now, guess who we playing? The Bulls, right? So we getting cracked, but we holding our own. We holding our own. We going back and forth and everything. So I'm sitting in the day room with about 2 or 3 inmates, so everybody, a lot of them zoned out. They got their medication, so they walking around like zombies, like it's Dawn of the Dead in there. So I'm sitting there. One particular inmate, I knew he ain't crazy. I knew he wasn't crazy. You know how I knew he wasn't crazy? Because he's sitting there. He knew every statistic about Michael Jordan, everything. He knew where he was going to shoot. Michael was killing us. Me and him going back and forth. Yeah, we're going to bust your ass and snap. We going back and forth. Die-hard Bull fan, die-hard Knick. I got my orange and blue on right now. So we sitting here and I'm watching the game with this dude. So all of a sudden, I smell something. Now these dudes be funky. They don't wash. They do all kind of protests. Sometimes when they get mad, they drink their own piss. They do all kind of craziness to try to make them think that they're crazy. So right now, people in the day room, they be farting, they be stinking and all that stuff. So right now, I'm smelling a funky fart smell, right? So I'm like, damn, when these motherfuckers farted. No problem. I'm watching the game. Right now, the game over. The Knicks won. So I'm talking wild smack. But I'm still smelling this strong, funky, stinky smell. So when I turn over to look at the dude I was talking crap to, this dude done took feces and smeared it all over his face and all over his clothes and everything. And I'm sitting there looking at him. In horror, of course. I'm like, yo, like this. And he like, what happened? Just mad. He thought he just mad because the Knicks won the game. I'm like, yo, my man, you gotta lock in. Boom. So I make him lock in. So part of the being in the MO house is you be having suicide watch, because a lot of them, like I said, they faking like they're crazy. And some of them really be trying to attempt suicides and stuff like that. Now, you got to be careful with these suicides because inmates get real creative when they're trying to kill themselves. Case in point, I don't know if some of you know, an inmate could take a sneaker string, right, tie it around his neck, tie it to the bed railing, right, and sit down and be looking at you just like this. All along, you think he's sitting there with his head down like this. He's hanging himself. So you got to be cognizant of all that, especially when you working in an MO house. So now I locked them all in their cell. There's another inmate there that's on the suicide watch. Now this is a story within the story. So I'm gonna drop a jewel on you right now. Then I'm gonna tell you why. Here's the procedure when watching inmates to make sure they don't hang themselves. Now, every CO got this little 9/11 knife. It's a curve like this. We use it to cut inmates down when we bust open in the cell to try to stop them from killing themselves. So now, pay attention. This is a regular Joe Smo, no money, no nothing, dude that's trying to fight a case, dude that just don't want to go up north, don't want to do the crime, do the time for this crime, right? He's in there. They assign you a suicide watch. Suicide watch is another inmate that sits outside your cell all night to make sure you don't hang yourself. When he leaves, another inmate comes take his place to watch you to make sure you don't hang yourself. Now, these are just Joe Schmo guys that came off the street that's fighting their charges, right? So if they're being watched 24 hours all the time, and they got another inmate watching just to make sure that they don't hang themselves, then you got the CO like me walking around all the people's cell, checking every cell, even the dudes that put the towel up so they want to get their shit off. You make them bring down the towel so you can make sure that they're not hanging themselves. So now, at this time, I'm walking around. Now, the reason why I told y'all the procedures is because I wonder how Jeffrey Epstein was able to hang himself when he had a camera in his cell, suicide watch 24 hours, and he had extra officers watching him around the clock to make sure he didn't kill himself. That's neither here nor there. I'm going to leave that alone. So now, I'm walking around doing my watch and stuff like that. So I look in the bubble. The relief is here. I'm doing a double, so I ain't going nowhere. So the relief is there, and it's this chick named Collins. Everybody know about Collins. Collins is known to give you the wild topping 10 all the time, and she was steady on the midnight tour. So I was like, yo. And I've been flirting with her off and on, but I heard about it. Oh, everybody heard about it. Everybody heard she's been serving up everybody. So I was feeling real good about being in the nut house, and I'm working with Collins tonight. So I said to myself, I'm going to go to my locker, I'm going to get me my bottle of Hennessy, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to get right with her. Boom. So now I'm extra hurrying up, making sure everybody locked in. CO, can I get it? Last cup of coffee? Hurry up, nigga. Whatever. So everybody locked in, suicide guy in place. Boom. I go to the bubble. We get to talking, we get to flirting, we get to talking that you can't handle this. I'm gonna put it on you, blah, 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 like I said. Boom. So now it's getting late. I knew it was gonna be on because she came with food and she bought a bottle. She bought her own bottle. So I knew I ain't had to go nowhere. I knew she was ready. So we sitting there, we sipping. I'm waiting till time is right, because listen, trying to make sure the inmates are asleep. Trust me, they ain't never sleep. But at least faking like they sleep. I ain't care, because I knew what I was gonna do. So we sitting in there and we cut the lights off in the bubble. So now you got the suicide dude at the end of the tier. He gonna be making rounds, watching, making sure nobody hanging himself. So now me and her getting right in there. So we hear the knock on the door. Who is it? The captain. The captain coming. I'm looking at this. He looking at me. I'm looking at him. He look at her. He look at me. He knew what it was too. Everybody know what it is. Well, and he mad now because I'm in there and I'm like, yeah. So now he signs the book like he normally do. I wink at him. I go get the bottle. I pour him a large cup of Hennessy. I give it to him saying, nigga, don't come back. You know what I'm saying? So he breaks out because he already know what it is, right? So now me and her in there, we feeling on. She grabbing on my joint and everything. We about to get it in. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, the suicide watch come running up to the door, banging on the door. Yo, this dude trying to hang up. So I said, I jet out there and I go down there to him, right? And it's the guy that I was watching the game with and everything, all upset and everything because the Bulls lost. So he really in there. This dude really done try to tie his joint to the top of the window or something like that. And he had the sheet wrapped around his neck. So I tell her, open the cell. She open the cell. I go in there. I cut him down. Boom. He fall on the bed. He breathing and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, you crazy and this and that. So now I'm like, damn, I got to fill out all kind of paperwork and all this stuff because this dude tried to hang up. But at the meantime, I got all kind of Hennessy on my breath. I'm drunk. I'm feeling good and all this stuff. So I checked him over. His neck ain't blue or nothing like that. So I tell you the truth, I really wasn't going to report it because I know he was just acting a fool over the basketball game. So now I tell him, you all right, man? He breathing. He's like, yo, my Bulls lost. I'm like, he'll be all right. So I jet, close the door. So now while I'm out there, I make my round. So I'm making my rounds, checking. Dudes got the sheet up. They jerking off, doing whatever. So I'm bring the sheet down and everything, and I'm doing my rounds like the model correction officer that I am. So I come around to where the dude cell is at that just tried to hang up. So as I'm walking, I hear him talking about, yeah, the Knicks ain't shit. The Knicks ain't shit. So I'm like, you just mad, you wild mad. So your boy got his mouth open. You wild mad because the Knicks bust your ass. You wild mad. So I get to his cell with the wild mad, mouth wide open. I see this dude go like this. Woof. That's all I seen him do. Next thing you know, feces, shit, chunks of shit was all in my mouth, all on my chin, all on my uniform, and I'm sitting here like this, shit dripping. All of a sudden, all the inmates that was asleep, everybody up, loud, laughing, and all that. I got chunks of shit coming out my mouth. I'm stunned. I'm backed up like this. He in the cell laughing. Yo, when I tell you, heated. Yo, I got chunks of shit in my mouth, all on my face. And this dude must have had ate corn the night before, because I got chunks of corn coming out my mouth. Yo, I swear, I wanted to kill this dude. The inmate suicide watch grabbed me now. You know, she seen him. Yo, Hayward, stop. And I'm like, yo, open up the cell. So she wouldn't open the cell because she didn't want me to go in there and kill his. I was going to kill this dude. Now, I got feces all over me. I got crap all over me in my mouth and all that stuff. Listen, to this day, I'm still traumatized about that. So I go to the bubble. She like, you want me to call the captain? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, thank G. You drunk. Captain, no, he probably sourced up. If you report that, all kind of people gonna come down here right now, gonna air you out, you drunk. So I said, nah. So I elected not to call him, but I wasn't gonna report it either. But that don't take the fact of I got shit coming out my mouth. Now, go in the bathroom, take my shirt off. So now I'm walking around mad with my t-shirt on. So she's sitting there, inmates in there, still laughing, right? So now I'm sitting there and I'm mad as hell. Took my t-shirt off, washed my t-shirt out, put it back on. Now I'm sitting there, and so, you know, I'm simmering down. Me and her get to sipping again. We get to sipping again, then, you know, we get to doing what we do. She started calming me down. It's going to be all right, this and that. It happened to the best of us and all that stuff. I'm like, the best of us? I just got shitted on. Like, he dropped a bomb on me, right? So now, me and her in the mix, rubbing, panting, doing all kind of craziness. So we go to the utility closet. So we go to the closet, cut the light off from the bubble. So the suicide dude, I know he knew what's up because he see the light off in the bubble. We go in the room. Now I'm hitting it. Pow, pow, pow. Now I'm hitting it. Mad, stinking, smelling like shit, and all that. Hitting it. Boom. Next you know, boom, 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 boom. He bang on the door. Yo, this dude trying to hang up again. I took my time and I walked down there. Slow. Right? Matter of fact, I'm still buckling myself up. She like, yeah, I'm not running down here. He probably BSing. Took my time, walked down there, went to the cell. Now he hanging, for real. He hanging, right? I'm sitting there. I hold a suicide dude like this, I'll look at him, right? He hanging. And I'm letting y'all know, for that split of a second, I thought about just letting him rock. Just letting them rock. You know what I'm saying? Then she opened up the door. Even when she opened up the door, I still stood there, right? Then I see his feet get to, you know, doing a little jiggle. So I went in there and I cut him down. Boom. And I left him on the bed. You know what I'm saying? At this time, I didn't care. I didn't care what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? I heard him breathing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this dude squirted shit in my face, in my mouth. Yo, I walked out the cell, went back to the bubble, and I sat there. And I drunk all night. Now, let me tell you something. Right now, let me see. It's 8 inmates that done died this year on Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them say it's officer neglect. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably might be true because during my time there, officers do a lot of craziness to cover themselves so that they won't get busted for neglecting, the inmate, and the inmate died. This last inmate, they said the officer was guilty. The officer left his post for like 2 hours, and the inmate was able to hang himself. What I'm trying to say is a lot of officers that since I was a CO, officers done did craziness like fell asleep and an inmate killed himself. So the officers, it's not funny, but the officers took his body and put it on a radiator to warm the body up. So when the coroner comes, they couldn't really get the right time of death of when the inmate died. So if they couldn't get the right time of death, it could be that the officers were still there on post and was doing their job and the inmate just died. It didn't work, and they got fired. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you the craziness that officers do when they trying to cover their ass when inmates is, when they supposed to be watching the inmate and the inmate die. My thing like this is, I was gonna let this dude die because this dude squirted crap all in my mouth. And for a couple of months, when officers found out, you know what my nickname was? Corn on the cob. Not laughing. I hope none of you watching there is chuckling and smuckling about what happened. This your boy, Big G. Tune in to my channel. I got more stories coming, and I'm out.